All right. So bottom line is we're going to be climbing Whitney this year again, hopefully successfully. And so we are just starting to get ready for it. And I thought, gosh, I should share this with you guys and give you an opportunity to participate in
Bless you.
in different levels, right? So the first thing is that, I've been climbing here around climbing and hiking the whole life, but Whitney is such a big thing, right, in our community. Everybody, when you start, it's Baldy, it's whatever, Cucamonga and Gorgonius, but Whitney is really the kind of the big climb, the big hike. People come from all over the world. It's not just a hike. It's really an experience of life, a bucket list. So bottom line is there is so much kind of mystery on it, and even the first years, it's just like you have to dig into all that information, and the guys that already did, they just talk too much about it and make it kind of really scary and complicated to a lot of people. So I prepared this presentation today just to give you guys a really quick break of the most important things, and to basically show you it's not really rocket science. There is a way to get up there safely and down and have a great experience. Yeah, it's not easy, but there is a way, right? And so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of the information that I done this last year, and so that's the goal today, okay? And then tell you also how we are gonna be preparing in the next months to get the final team together and hopefully get there. No? Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. And by the way, if you guys, since we have a small group, if you have questions, just feel free to interrupt me and ask something. Don't let me just go. And this is not to be formal, right? I just wanted to keep it short so that you guys could get to your dinner and who knows, more hiking tonight. Anyway, so let's go here. So the first thing we got here is a little bit about Whitney, right? And again, there is so much stuff out there. You can go to YouTube, you can spend hours seeing videos and all of it, and you just get more confused and more either scared or excited. So I just tried to put here a little bit of the basic information that I know about it. First, it's where it is, right? So I have here actually a Google Earth I can share you in a little bit, but bottom line is it's on the Sierras, probably like not too far away. And this is the typical scary photo that you see here on the left of Whitney. It looks like in the clouds and how you need to climb this thing to get there. But fortunately, you don't really need to climb it. You can hike it. And it's our highest mountain, highest peak in what they call a contiguous state of the United States, right? You have also Mount Clinkley up in the north, but that's really where it is. It's what we call in the Sierras and the Sequoia, as well as the Inyo National Forest. And why? Because you're going to see that part of the mountain, one side, the west side, gets you to the Sequoia, and the right side, which is the one that we climbed it up, it's the Inyo National Forest. So it kind of is right on the edge, you'll see later, between both of them. Now, to give you a perspective, okay, so how do we get there, right? People don't even talk about those things, they just assume. And just to give you an idea how far it is not that far. It's about, at least here in Google Earth, I checked, was about 4 hours from Irvine, from OC, or about 4 hours probably from Los Angeles. There are 2 routes you can go, and the main road you want to get to is the 395. And mostly after here, this first part, from here on, it's pretty easy, nice drive, once you get out of the valley here down. And that's the goal, you just go the 395 all the way, and you get into the Sierras in the entry, and you pass, I think, Bishop, and that from there, Long Pines, where is really where the whole fun starts. And when you get there, the typical thing you need to do on the first day, if you are going alone, or you got your tickets and you got your permits, or just to check on the weather, the conditions, typically the day before, and it's a great stop. In any case, just if you're passing there, is to go to the visitor center. It's right by the 395, and there is a bunch of stuff. And that's normally where you get your permits. You may have got them online, but basically you need them physically, as well as you need the famous wag bag, because as you probably heard, you know, at Whitney, you cannot even leave your poop there. So you have to, there is nothing after 10,000 feet, nothing gets destroyed, and there is no life up there. It's really dead zone. So they give you a bag, a kit, a map. And most important is really to check the weather, because in that, when you go there, there's a board and you can talk to them, and they will give you an idea of, yes, is it hikeable right now or climbable, and what is the weather forecast for the next day. There is a lot of stuff online too, and links we can check, but I think it's always the best to go there, because they will tell you sometimes everything is okay, but there was a big accident, for instance, the day before or something like that, or some event, and then it's closed. Much more now with COVID, right? They are kind of in and out. They are starting to give people permits again, but that's kind of a great place to stop and to visit. And they have a model also of Whitney, of the whole Sierras actually here, and it's a great first stop. Okay, so now here comes the scary stuff, right? Where is Whitney? You know, why in the scale of things? So let's look here on the right here, bottom right. If you have done Baldy here in Southern California, right? You'll see here I just put those two. There is not a picture of the mountain itself, but Baldy is at 10,000 feet. You know, Jacinto a little bit higher. And then Gorgonio is our local Everest at 11,508. I actually did Gorgonio yesterday, you know, with a very, very tough group. Yeah, we went to the South Fork, my first trip there. It's kind of, if you can do that hike, it was like, yeah, at 20 miles up and down, and then almost 5,000 feet elevation. We started at 6 in the morning, a group of 6, very, very known, good hikers. And yeah, we went up and down, and you know, it was all good back at 5 o'clock or so. And if you can do that at the end of our conditioning and you feel good about it, I say it's your best basically preparation, and also your self feeling of, am I ready to approach Whitney? Okay, but not to scare you. Let me just say, I did Gorgonio 3 times. Yesterday was the 3rd. The first time I did, I almost died in the middle of it. I had stomach stuff. There wasn't even, you know, the altitude or anything like that. Actually, Lisette was there, I think. And bottom line is, when we did Gorgonio the first time, I couldn't really, you know, I really dragged myself up there the last couple miles. The second time I did, just 2 weeks later, I had continued the training, the conditioning. I did it with Victor. And it was a snap for me. I was really in shape. And even in the dead zone, I had no problems. I left everybody behind. And you know, you guys know I have some chronic pain issues. So I'm just saying that you get, you know, you build yourself up, and you're on the right day, and you're gonna, every one of you can get there, you know, even, I mean, locally here, Gorgonio. Now, from Gorgonio to Whitney, it's not the same thing, okay? Those 3,000 feet of difference, you know, require much more. But I would say you can really prepare more here locally than Gorgonio. And but it's doable. It's just another couple things you need to do to get there. Okay. Any questions? And from Whitney, you can go McKinley and then Everest, right? What's the problem?
Hey, Rolf. Norma was trying to dial in. She said she couldn't get the link to work, so I'm trying to see if
okay, thank you. Yeah, please pass it to her. Yeah. Kate, are you there? I just saw you joining us. Kate?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make
Sorry,
sure.
I'm cooking. I'm just listening.
Okay, all
Sorry
right.
about that.
Okay, so let's pass here the scary stuff. Okay, so you guys know, and this tells you also why it is so I wouldn't say difficult, but why people want to do it too, right? It's one of the few things, one of the few hikes at this altitude that you can actually do. You know, at the level of 12, 13,000 feet, most of the time it's a climb. Even if it's a low grade climb, it's a climb. It's not a hike. But Whitney allows us to get to that altitude, you know, as a hiker too, you know. And so don't get worried on this stage. I just wanted to put it because you're gonna see this elsewhere, and you're gonna feel like, oh, you know, let me just give up just because of that. Well, so how are we gonna really climb this beast, okay? And here is basically my very quick list, okay? And you see there is a lot of stuff out there, but this is kind of my simple path to success, okay? I broke it in 7 points. From this whole presentation you're seeing today, if you just wanna screenshot something and remember it for the future, for whatever year you may wanna do it, or you wanna share it with a friend, I would say share this screen, okay? Those 7 points. This is kind of my recipe, you know, to get you there. The first point is the 7 points. The first point, I would say, yeah, you need permits. See, people get all aroused about having the permits and getting, and after they get the permit in some way or sort, they forget about all the rest, right? They think they have their ticket in their hand, they're ready for Whitney, you know, and it's really not. You know, you gotta get the permits, you gotta get the right gear. You know, the gear that we do all our local hikes, even the gear that we do baldies, or it's not necessarily the same gear you need for Whitney. Then at some point when you're really committed to it, you gotta get accommodations. There are some times of the year and weekends, like we are going into I think the 2nd of the September is not Memorial Day, is the what weekend is that? There is a holiday on that weekend.
Labor Day.
Labor Day, exactly. We are very lucky because the 2nd is a Thursday. And so we can arrive, I would say we can leave on Tuesday or Wednesday. I really recommend at least one day early, probably Tuesday would be best. Arrive there on Wednesday. Long Pines is already 6,000 feet, so you already get some acclimation with the weather. You really relax, something I didn't do. My team arrived on the day before, and on that night we started the hike. You know, we were supposed to have time to sleep. There was no sleep. Nobody could sleep on the tents, on the dorms, and we didn't even eat a full meal, you know, some of us, and boom, we gone too early to, I mean, just to tell you, you know, but it's best. We can arrive there on Tuesday or Wednesday. The climb starts on the Thursday, right? We'll probably start like early in the night, around 1 or 2 in the morning. And then we hike the mountain on the 2nd, and then we come down in the end of the day. We can, if we do really well, we can even get the famous burger and the pancakes at the portal that everybody talks about. And then go sleep, and the next morning we basically have our breakfast celebration. But bottom line is you gotta get accommodations for at least 2-3 days there. Because it's a holiday weekend, you may even stay. I totally recommend, you know, then Friday, Saturday, do some other beautiful hikes there, little lakes. There is so much stuff there, you know, and you will be so happy, so excited with yourself, and you're already there. So to add another day, that's the holiday weekend, and come back then on Sunday or Saturday, whatever. But kind of we are lucky for having that weekend. But accommodations, you need to schedule as well as your time, right? Prepare also time. And when I mean time here, it's not time just for the real September week for that climb. It's all the time for the preparations, right? For the conditions, especially the weekend hikes, right? You gotta find some way to schedule a couple of those peaks, and you have to prepare for that. The second point I strongly recommend is find a team, okay? Especially if you haven't done it before, or even if you have done it before. Not too big of a team. I would say the biggest probably around 8 people. The minimum 2-3, okay? But have a team, all right? You're gonna see later. It's in my opinion fundamental. And also not any team. You know, it's not just a bunch of guys that, hey, let's do Whitney. You know. Get a team that has some experience with it. The third part, yeah, you gotta get really healthy, you know, and do the conditioning, all the stuff we're gonna talk about. The fourth point is, yeah, you know, about, just to give you guys an idea, from what I've heard, and it's not official, I guess, but about just 40% of the time that people try to summit Whitney, they are successful. I know people that have tried 2-3 years in a row, had done everything right, but the mountain basically said no, you know? And so it's just something you cannot control. But you gotta have some luck here too, right? You gotta have luck that the weather is good, and then you have to also have luck that you, on that particular day, you know, are doing good with altitude sickness. And I will talk about that later, but everyone is different. You can hike one day, I hike peaks at 12, 13,000 feet, and one day the same team, everybody was on the same level, everybody fit. One day everybody's good, the next day someone just wakes up already in the mountain, already at high altitude, they just are sick, you know, and it hits us all. There are a couple things you can do to mitigate it, but yeah, you just have to have luck with the high altitude, you know. And then if it's not your day, it's not your day, you know. Safety is always the #1 issue here, you know. You don't, this is an incredible experience. I cannot even start getting to the good stuff to get you guys excited, but obviously safety is the first priority, and I think you can all do it safely, but you have just to have luck that your body is in the good day, you know. And there is no age, there is no being fit or not, man or woman. It's just it happened to everybody. Okay, last time, by the way, for instance, Peggy Park, the famous, had climbed Mt.Whitney 27 times successful. I don't even know how many times she attempted. She was the lead in our group, right? And you know, the big kahuna, everybody in the Whitney Portal knows her. And you know, she was sick right in the beginning and was just horrible, okay, for the team, for everybody. So it happens to everybody. The fifth part is you gotta work as a team, right? This is not a hike that you can just spin off, you know. A lot of happens all the time, but at least on my team, you know, I'm trying to tell everybody that wants to really join to you know, if you don't want to really follow the team and work as a team to get everybody there, you know, probably best you go on your own. Good luck, but this is a team effort. We gotta help each other, and there are many ways you're gonna see that we need each other on such a hike, even if it's just one person. See, on our group last year we had 8 hikers, all pros. There were 2 people that hadn't climbed Whitney before. It was me and Margarita. And guess what? After 6 hours of hiking, everybody was gone, and it was who is in the front still hiking? Me and Margarita. And we were a team, you know, and from that moment on, we were an awesome team, you know. Then we got Steve joining us. He made it still, but you know, I wouldn't have done it without her, even though I spin off. I did the first summit by myself, but at the end, you know, you need everybody. So working as a team is totally important. The 6th part is obviously you gotta work really hard on that mountain, right? You gotta kick butt. You know, it's not easy, and most of all, leave all the drama at home, okay? Believe me, this mountain, this hike has enough drama already that it throws on you, you know? So you gotta find people that wanna do it with you, but that are people that, you know, are basically stable and that, you know, can handle the stress and that won't give other in the team drama, you know? We'll work as a team and try to get everybody safe and all of it, but you know, this is not like your weekend hike, you know, when you have a group and there is someone that is just throwing some drama and whatever. No, you can have this here, you know, and so gotta really make that clear. And last but not least, as you probably already heard from many of those big documentaries on business peak climbs, you just have to pray and ask, do your blessings, you know, from Everest to K2. The mountain has to allow you, you know, and there are many days that it just says no to everybody or to you. In the morning, it says okay to a couple of hikers that were early, but at other hours, it just mountain says no. And you just have to say, okay, it's not our day, and, you know, we're going to try it again next time, right? But you got to have the mountain's approval, and I cannot just describe exactly what that means, but you will understand, right? So that's kind of the 7 points, you know. Any question on any of these? No? All right, so let's move on. So let's get to, how do we get to this mountain? So here you can see on the right, this is, can everybody see this slide here?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, this is kind of a quick picture, and I'm going to go into the map in a second, but this is kind of just a simple breakout. This whole valley here to the right, the trailhead is right here, okay? The Sierras, it's not showing, it's here to the right. It's where the freeway in Long Pines is, and here you have basically the portal, the famous Whitney portal. So up to this point here, you drive your car. There are camping grounds here too. There are 3 or 4 for families, for individual. Some people camp here. Some people sleep on their car here, crazy enough, but they do it. And the real hike starts right here. The first point of interest is called Lake Pines, Long Pines Lake. And actually, you can hike without a permit from from Whitney Portal all the way to Long Pines. And it's a beautiful hike that I recommend you do during the day. It's really gorgeous. It's about 2-3 miles up and back. It's a regular hike. It's in high altitude. You already start at 8,000 feet at the trail, at the Whitney Portal, and you go about, I think, till 10,000, and it's beautiful. You cross rivers. It's wonderful. Unfortunately for us, because we're going to start at night, you know, it's famous to know that Whitney summiters, they don't get to see this part really during the day. That's another reason why you may want to do this the next day or on another day, you know, or even if you cannot do, for some reasons you are sick, at least you can do that hike. It's beautiful. And you can, it's an easy hike. You cross a couple rivers, but it's very beautiful. And then the next part, continuing up, you get to Outpost Camp. Outpost Camp is the first camp that sometimes people that are gonna do Whitney, they decide to stop and sleep. I just heard a couple experienced hikers saying that this is the best place to camp if you're gonna do Whitney, basically in multiple days. I forgot to say that, by the way, there are 2 ways you can do Whitney, or at least 3. You can do Whitney in one day. That's our passes. So you're gonna do all of this thing all the way 11 miles up and then 11 miles down in one single day. It's a pass that it's really tied to 24 hours. The second way is a multiple day pass, in which case you can basically camp 1 or 2 times. Sometimes they camp just once at Outpost Camp or a trail camp, and then the next day you go up, you know, and then you come down in one way. And there is a third way too that I want to just highlight so that you know already, which is called the Mountaineers Route. The Mountaineers Route is not a hiking trail. It basically goes right away from the Whitney Portal to this side here. You see here this ridge here, and that's kind of goes directly up. So you basically, it's much shorter, but it's a climb. You know, up to this point, to this upper lake here, it's a hike, and from here on, it's a category, I think 1C hike, climb, and you go up. But that's kind of the third possible way. So a single day, multiple days with backpacking, or the mountaineer climb through that trail. And so you go all the way up, then you pass here. This is really the last point. It's called the trail camp, where people can camp, and or it's, you know, it's also the last part, a place where you can find water. Normally you have Consultation Lake here, and that's where you normally, you know, start the climb. And here comes the dreadful 99 switchbacks. Believe it or not, you know, Steve, our leader last time, he claimed it's not 99. I don't know if he was already high with altitude sickness to check on every single, because believe me, by here already, you're already not thinking very right, okay? And this is already, trail camp is already at, I think 12,000 feet. And then when you get up, you're gonna see, and here is where you get, at the end of the switchbacks, you get to the trail crest, which is absolutely stunning. It's right here at this corner here. And why is it so stunning? Because you have on the east side, you have a view of all the valley. This is called the Owens Valley. And you are right there, you are about 13,000 feet, and you can see all of this. And just a meter to your left, it goes down all the way, and you have the Sequoia National Forest that's to the left. And so, and from there on, you got to the John Moore Junction, and somewhere here along, you join with the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail. You have all those through hikers that are doing from Mexico to Canada, and then you join them and you go all the way to the summit. So that's about 3 miles from here. So that's kind of a breakdown from the whole hike. And as you can see from the stats here to the left, it's not your walk in the park, right? But again, it's totally doable. Like yesterday we did Gorgonio, and it was like 20 miles, 20.5 to the South Fork path, and it was about 4,600 feet, and we did it in 10 hours with probably an hour break up there. Was 11 hours here. If my goal is for us to do this year in about 14 to 16 hours. But some people, I met people, a trail runner, by the way, that did this whole thing up and down in 6 hours. Okay, yes, a kid, and he's 25, and he does that every month. He came from LA, and he was on my dorm, just sitting there on his bed, looking he had just come down. I mean, you cannot believe, you know, the guy looked like Hook on the way up, and on his legs, he looked like thin, like a pencil. And I don't even know how you can do 6 hours coming down, much less 6 hours up and down, you know, and he does that every month. So you're gonna see some crazy stories about Whitney, but forget about that. It's not our department, right? We just wanna get there and have fun and enjoy this, but that's about it. So any questions here?
No.
I have a question.
Sure.
At one point on the trail, do you reach that sign that says to move farther, it requires a permit? How far can you go on that trail until you need a permit?
That's the Lone Pines, is right here. I'm gonna actually show the next slide. Okay, here is the complicated stuff, you know, and it has basically everything. So you see here on the right, this breakdown of that whole trail, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here you see all the 6 steps. So the first is Whitney Portal, right? So the second is Lone Pines Lake. So up to number 2, Paul, you can get without a permit.
That's right. Okay.
The hike I was talking about. This is the Owens Valley going up here. And from 2 on, you need a permit, okay? Either a multi-day or a day pass to do it. And so that's kind of that point here. The third is what I said, the outpost camp is the first place to really camp. And then 4th is the last camping, is the last water, is called the trail camp at 12,000 feet. And then you go the 99 switchbacks you see here, and you reach the trail crest that I was just talking about at 13,600 feet. So when you hit the trail crest, just to put things in perspective, you see from this map here to the left, you start here at the Whitney, see here my map on the left, right? And you start on the what's called the Inyo National Forest, and you go up. Here you're gonna cross, actually at this point here, you're gonna cross the boundary from the Inyo National Forest to the, to the Sequoia National. But basically from here on, it's, you know, you're going up and you have the Lone Pine Lake, and it's about 2.8 miles only. So from the Whitney Portal, 2.8 up, 2.8 back, it's, you know, it's a day hike, a normal of a small hikes. It's not that big. But from here on, it starts getting tougher because altitude is already, you're at 10,000 feet here. See, Lone Pines is 10,000 feet. Outpost Camp, which is the next stop, it's already 10,360. And this part here is 3.7 miles. And then it goes really up along the lakes, along the Lone Pine Creek, which is nice too. I mean, this is so beautiful coming down. You're gonna see the snow and the water coming down, and the nature is there. Incredible. I mean, that's a great reason to do it as a camping, to do the backpacking, because you can get to see that. You can hike that whole thing during the day, and you get to see this whole Owen Valley. But bottom line, from here on, it's really hard work. Why? Because at trail camp on, you're at 12,000 feet. So imagine this, you're already at 1,500 feet higher than Gorgonio. And at this point, you still have to hike now, you know, all the way to Trail Crest, which is at 13,600 feet, the 99 switchbacks. And this part is a little bit dangerous. It's where you are weak, not, I wouldn't say weak, but you are tired because you already did all this stuff at night, and you need to pay attention, you know. And sometimes I've seen a lot of people just turning around and saying, not today, right here at the switchbacks, because it's too icy and you have to have crep-ons at least. When I did, it was clear, okay? And there was just a little bit of ice, but even then, with the high altitude, you know, the trail is pretty easy. It's switchbacks, you know, but you have to have your mind right, and that's where the teamwork, you know, checking with each other, going together, and incentive each other, right? At this part here, for instance, last time I was telling you guys, you know, we did all with the group, right, all the way to here, and here people started dropping off, and by here, by Consultation Lake, was just me and Margarita, and we got to the middle of the switchbacks. She lost one of her gloves, had to come down to find it, told me to continue, and I continued this thing by myself all the way to Trail Crest, and she didn't join me. She found her glove with Steve, and then she came back up, and I was already at Trail Crest, and I thought, gosh, if I have a chance today, I have to continue, you know. And I made my way all the way to Whitney, to the summit. And then when I was coming down, I was starting to breathe again. I was 1,000 feet down already on the John Muir. They were finally catching up and coming back. And they're like, no, you cannot come down. You got to come back with us. And crazy enough, you can write this on the books of history, that it's probably the first time that stupid me, high altitude sickness, I went back with them. So I did 2 summits, you know, on the first time crazy. So I went back up with them. We did a second summit with the photos you've seen, and then we all came down together, the 3 of us. But you know, that's kind of how it works, right? So these are the steps, basically the parts. And in your mind, I recommend you have to really already prepare yourself, you know. Let's just first get to Lone Pines Lake, number 2 here. Now, from here, let's get to Outpost Camp. Then we get to Trail Camp. Here is the last place you're gonna feel water, because from here on, and this is what I wanted to show you. See here the whole diagram? You will think by looking to my map that actually getting to Trail Crest, you've done 2/3 of the whole hike, right? You did all this work, you climbed all the switchbacks, you got to Trail Crest, and you've done 2/3. So now you just have 2.8 miles all the way to the summit. But from my experience, you know, this is about 50%, okay? This part here is not your normal trail hike. It's a lot of boulders, and you're on the ridge. You're very tired. It's high altitude, you know. Your voice even, you know, you start getting headaches, or, you know, it's not easy, but it's beautiful. The views from here to the Sequoia side are just stunning. I'm going to show you guys some video and some photos in a minute. It's just superb. But it's basically, in other words, I'm trying to say, from the Whitney Portal all the way to Trail Crest, it's about 25% of the whole adventure. Then you have 25% from here to Whitney, to the summit. Then you 25 back to the Trail Crest, and then 25 back to down, right, to home. Okay? And as we say as the climbers, one of the first rules is like, you know, the summit is not your destination. That's, I think, one of the biggest mistake I've seen a lot of people doing. They put all the energies. They just want to get to the summit, take the photos and see it and live it. And then they have nothing left on their battery to come down. So you have to mentally already prepare yourself that getting to the summit is just 50% of the whole adventure. Most accidents really happen on the way down, not on the way up. So that's basically how it goes. Man. All right, so to give you a quick tour now, I got a couple images and photos here to share, not to go too long here. We already 7 o'clock. So this is the view from the call it Alabama Hills, right next to Lone Pines and the 395. And here you can see just a little bit here on the top, the Whitney. This is really not the view from the summit, it's just, you know, the typical view you got. This is a great area to camp too. There are a couple camp options here. And just if you're passing by, you should stop there to visit. Alabama Hills is very famous, where they film the movies. And also you have the famous Mobius Arc here, looking up. I don't know if you guys can recognize this girl here. And so it's a great place to stop, and it's the beginning of the whole adventure, right? And this is, you get here also out with the Whitney Road. And here's the visitor centers I told you about. And you should stop out of the 395. And they have the model, it's also part of it. Here is the portal, okay? So the day of your hike, if you're already camping by the portal, this is the place where you start. It's the famous coffee shop or bookstore here. And you drive this road here on the left. That's about 20-25 minutes to get to the portal. And here is your campsites. This is the famous entry. The whole fun starts right here. And here is also where you measure your backpack, you know, to see how, if it's not too heavy, it's better. They have a famous place here where everybody measures it. Mine had 30 pounds, 35 pounds. This year, I'm gonna try to take at least 10 pounds out of it. I will tell you how, but as light as you can go, you know, the better it is. But this is the famous beginning. And here's Peggy, by the way, the famous Peggy. Everybody knows her here. Very few people have climbed successfully. It's just stunning. This lady is 27, almost 80 years old, and she climbed this mountain 27 times. There is also a beautiful waterfall here to visit in the day before. There's a little a trail here, and very nice to relax in this area. So if you just want to go the day before, we typically go there and join each other, do some team bonding and visit it. It's a great place to stop at any day. It's not too far. So, and here comes the fun. This is how it looks, guys, when the day comes, you know. This is our team last year, you know. We starting here, Peggy, Steve, Margarita, Afrin, and it's not on the photo, also Victor was also part of it. I think he was taking the photo. And yeah, it's hard work in the beginning. Everybody's super, super excited. And you basically hike the first 4 or 5 hours. In our case, we started the night before. I won't even tell you the time because you're gonna get scared. But normally we'll start at 1, 2 in the morning. And it's basically you just using your headlamps. It's totally doable. Don't get scared with that if you haven't hiked at night. And most of all, this valley at night, I mean, every time we stop for a break or whatever, the general rule, me and Margaret's like, turn the lights off, turn the lights off. Why? Because you're never gonna see a sky like this. If you look at the map of the US, the first show is the night sky, okay? You're never gonna see stars like that. And the Owen Valley protects any light that comes from the downtown, from the Sierras, and it's just gorgeous to just watch. So there is a lot of good stuff. And here you see now the first dawn is starting, the first light coming up. And this view, when you start here reaching, this is basically the beginning of the switchbacks. You're hitting the guitar, it's called the Guitar Lake here to the left, and the consultation is to the right. It's just absolutely stunning. It's where you start getting the rewards for all of this. I'm gonna play quickly here a little video when I hit here the switchbacks at that point, and you guys can see from last year.
In the middle of the 99 switchbacks at 13,500 feet. Sun is coming up. And we can see Mt.Whitney. We're just 4 or 5 miles away, 1,500 feet. And it's just spectacular.
So anyway, that's kind of here. Yeah, it's, you see, I was saying, oh, we're just 5-6 miles away, but really, yeah, that's just miles, but it's actually a little bit more. Here's me with Margarita, and here now the sun starts shining, and you get all the heat, you get the energy, you know, to do the switchback. So it really starts paying off. But that's kind of where we are at this point. And then next is really you're getting up. You finish the trail, the switchbacks, and you get views that are just incredible. Here's in the middle of the switchbacks, you see the sun already came up. This is the valley you see here. We came all the way down there. You know, we hiked all the night through it. We passed, this is the consultation lake, and we are already on the switchbacks.
Switchback, we are 13,700 feet, and there is a monster peak. Yeah, getting close now.
You can see my voice is already a little bit faded here.
Yeah,
So, and then when you get to the trail crest, the trail crest is an incredible place, an incredible view, and it's an incredible boost of energy, because when you hit that point, you know, you feel so happy, so proud of yourself, and the views are just stunning. This is my last steps, just hitting the trail crest after probably 7-8 hours hiking. And this is the Owen Valley there to the right. You see that there is a trail. It's not climbing, okay? It's not it looks more scared than it is.
It's just look at that Sequoia National Park.
Yeah, that's your first view to the Sequoia, to the other side.
Yay! Yeah. Yay! Look at that! I'm gonna talk you guys in a sec. All right.
Anyway, so that's kind of the view. This is the view then to the Sequoia on the other side. And from here on, we're going to be climbing really on that side to the rest of it. So that's about it, guys. The team plan is basically very simple, just to go very quickly. Today, we are doing the announcements, the presentation, right? The second part is start the conditioning hikes. We'll get some week hikes every Monday and Wednesday. I will send you guys a calendar, you know, post it there. You know, it's local hikes. You guys can join for just to get conditioning or to really be part of the team. And then we're going to have the peak hikes on the weekend. Then we're going to finalize the members, right? Who's going to be really in, make reservations for hotel, camp reservations, and get the proper gear, transportation, you know, figure out who is going with whom. And then, yeah, at least the meeting, the first meeting is on the 1st, right? The day before, and rest. The second is showtime, is our day permit. It's from midnight of September 2nd to the end of the night. And then the third is the big celebration breakfast. You probably heard there is a famous breakfast place in Long Pines. And you can see here, I finished 3 plates, 3 breakfast plates. You know, you're gonna eat like nobody. I think last year I burned 9,000 calories on this hike, and that's totally normal.
Do you remember the name of that little diner? I know.
Forgot. Yeah, it's something Lone Pines. Yeah, you can.
They have the best breakfast. It's a really small hole in the wall place. They have the best breakfast.
Yeah, it's the best. It's where you want to do your team celebration, or yeah, it's a great place. It's we waited, I think, half an hour to get our table, but believe me, if you then hike, even our team, like I said, from 8, just 3 of us were able to summit. But at the next day, it's everybody's so happy, and you know, and it's just like wonderful to eat the first meal, you know, and then yeah, that's it. So that's kind of the plan here. And like I said, just in the calendars, we're gonna have hikes. I already got a couple here planned, but I will send you a list. So basically, Mondays and Wednesday we'll do a hike. All of them starting at 6:15. Typical like the Fun Monday. Anybody can come. I'm just gonna send you the location and the time. You know, no meetup crap or big, you know, a list or anything like that. It's just show up, and we'll be doing those hikes on Monday and Wednesday. Probably, I think we'll start on this Wednesday, Upper Back Bay, just more together. I kind of got an extra trail there that you guys can learn if you haven't done it, that actually works you out a little bit. And then from there, we're gonna do Peters Canyon, a little bit longer on Peters Canyon, then Turtle Rock, which is also have some elevation, Boat Canyon, Quail Hill, Boomer Ridge, Shady Canyon. Okay, this is a combination, it's an 11 miles. Shady Canyon, Boomer Canyon, Turtle Ridge is a longer one. It's little elevation, but it's a longer one to get us really more the distance conditioning. Then again, Peters, then we're going to rotate it again. In terms of the weekends, the plan is to start with the low peaks. First, Baden Powell is the easiest. Then we're going to probably go Baldy, then Cucamonga, Mount Wilson, out of Madre Ray, and then Jacinto, and then probably finish it up the cycle here, at least with the first Gorgonia. Probably from Vivian Creek, that's easier than the one I did yesterday. So, and that's the plan, is just 2 hikes, you know, Monday and Wednesday. I basically hike almost every day. So but it gives everybody a break. So you start on Monday, you have Tuesday as a break, you do another one on Wednesday, then you have Thursday and Friday to rest, to do then the big peak ones on Saturday. And, you know, you can join any of them or, you know, here and there, it's up to you. Now, to be part of the team, I would like to say this right away, you know, the final team, you need to, you know, to basically have done at least half of the peak hikes with me to show that you are in good condition, you know, to get to know each other and to, you know, I want to make sure that the people that are going are fit, are ready, you know, and that we know each other. and that, so that kind of will be the little selection criteria. And I think you're gonna decide by yourself too if you feel you're ready or not to do this thing. But bottom line, the first month, I think by the end of middle of July, people should already know, do they want to be part of the team? We have basically 5. I have 5 passes. Norma is the 6th, you know, and so I basically have four spots, right, of people that can go. And yeah, and that's the idea, no? Okay.
Awesome.
Good stuff, Rolf.
Yeah, was that good? I mean,
Thanks for
there
putting
is
that
so
together.
much more, and I can pass more information when we start the hikes and we sit and we can sit. I can tell you all this stuff about gear, about conditioning, you know. Norma, by the way, she's a top fitness guru. I don't know if you know her resume. She's like Olympics level. I mean, she does, I mean, this woman is, when we did last time, we did it, I think on Tuesday, we started a hike. She had done it already on Saturday with another group. And she got up there. You can see here, she on the right here, on yellow green photo. This lady is probably, I don't know, mid-60s, and here's her husband, Carl, on the back. And for her, it's like nothing. She does like 4 spinning classes a day. She advises Olympic teams, but she can also help you guys with giving you like conditioning, you know, like really exercise and stuff like that, eating, all that stuff, you know. I mean, she's incredible, you know, world class, US team, world class. So, and we are lucky to have her there. You know, Carl is not able to go this year, so she's joining. I mean, she got us my tickets actually, and then she's joining our team. So don't have to worry about her, and you know, she's awesome person. And yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, she tried to join and she couldn't make it. I mean, she couldn't get on, but.
Oh yeah, she was gonna join today to the meeting, but just to say, you know, we're gonna hike probably the peaks with her. She was already doing Bernardino, I think, last weekend. I was gonna invite her this weekend, but the team I went had already a group. But yeah, so that's it, guys. So think about it. You know, at least you guys can join the conditioning hikes, get fit, get to know about it, and then who knows? You may find the motivation, the strength. It's really, like I said, it's not easy, but it's an experience for life. Okay, it's really something. When you come down and you've done that, you're gonna first have seen something I guarantee you haven't seen in your life. And you're probably not going to see it again, at least in our age group, right? The second thing is you're going to feel so proud of yourself, all right? It's a metaphor for many other things in your life that you think it's impossible. And, you know, being lucky to be in a good team and getting the right gear, doing the right preparation, it's totally doable, you know? You saw my 7 points there, you know, and I think anybody can do it. Still have to have luck, right? They has to be the right one. The mountain has to allow weather, you know, you have to be feeling good, but it's doable. And if you cannot do it in 1 year, you can do it in the next year. I know a lot of people that have tried, and then second, third year, and they were more younger, fitter, and prepared than we are. It's just not, but it's a great challenge. I guarantee you, it's an experience for life. So I hope I motivated you to try it one day. All right.
Awesome. Thanks for putting this together.
Sounds good.
Thank you,
All
Rolf.
right, guys.
Thanks, Rolf.
I will record and post it somewhere there so you can share it with other people. Oh yeah, and if you have hikers that you think are fit and wanting to do either the conditioning or be part of the team, let me know. Okay.
Will do. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.
Thanks.